Here's lesson 30, number 29. It's one of those compare problems. So if A is bigger, then the answer is A, and if B is bigger, the answer is B. If they're equal, the answer you'd write C, and if there's not enough information, you would write D. So it says if X is a real number and X is in between 0 and 1, not including, which one's bigger, or compare. Now, let me write this bigger so you can see it better. X is in between 0 and 1. To me, that means X is a fraction. It's a positive fraction, like a proper fraction. Okay, so it could be like a half or a fourth or a third or something like that. X to the half means square root. So normally the square root of a number is smaller than the number. Like the square root of 4 is 2, and 2 is smaller, right? But with fractions, remember when you multiply a fraction by a fraction? You know how the answer makes an even smaller fraction? Like, let's go over here and just pretend. Let's say like it was, I don't know, a third or something. If I multiply a third by a third, I get a ninth. You know what I mean? When you multiply a fraction by itself, the answer is a smaller number. Even though the 9's bigger than 3, this fraction, this answer is bigger than the thing that you squared to get it. So in other words, let's pretend that X was a fourth, because fourth's a nice root to take. So if X were a fourth, that would be between 0 and 1. So if X was a fourth and I compared X to the square root of X, X would be a fourth, but the square root of X would be a half, right? What? How is that? Because if I took the square root of a fourth, take the square root of 1 is 1, the square root of 4 is 2, I'd get a half. So I know it's kind of confusing, but I mean, you could do it with any number. It didn't have to be a fourth. But if you take a fraction and take its square root, the square root's actually going to be a larger number than the original fraction. So what's the answer? The answer is actually A. So the answer is A.